Initially announced at Star Wars Celebration in May of 2022, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is the one upcoming show that I'm most looking forward to seeing. Welcome to the Smoking Hot Nerds. We expect a Mando movie, Andor and Ahsoka Seasons 2, and maybe even a Lando series in 2025. But just in time for Christmas, we'll get a hopefully wholly original show. Skeleton Crew, from Spider-Man alumni John Watts and Christopher Ford. Set in the same fresh and new Republic timeline as The Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew features the adventures of 4 kids as they navigate the galaxy with a Force-sensitive Jude Law. Not much is known about the plot at this point, but it's clear that Watts and Ford and producers Filoni and Favreau intend on telling a sort of coming-of-age story in the spirit of Donner or Spielberg's kid-centric adventures of the 80s, such as The Goonies or E.T. It will feature directors from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Thunderbolts, and The Green Knight, and principal photography began in late 2022 and is set to debut on December 3rd, 2024. We of course know Jude Law plays one of the main characters, and while he's called a Jedi in the trailer, it kinda seems like his smug face and dramatic unhooding suggests he's maybe a bit of a charlatan, but hopefully one with a heart of gold. Kerry Condon from the Banshees of Inisherin and the voice of Friday in Captain America Civil War takes up a still nameless, according to IMDb, role. The most extensive casting call came in the search for 4 child actors, all of which are relatively unknown, which will definitely help bring plenty of realism to the story. The most notable name besides Jude Law is that of Nick Frost, who's rumored to be voicing a new droid character. The number one reason I'm excited about the potential of this series is that even though it's set in a timeline we are now very familiar with, I think the best Star Wars stories are those told of wholly original characters, not completely tied to the Skywalker saga. Rogue One, Andor, and The Mandalorian, while they certainly ended up having tie-ins with Luke and Vader, were initially about original characters with little need for member berries because they simply lived in the universe we were already very well aware of. My hope is that there's little to no need for reminding us we're in a Star Wars show, and that the writers and directors allow us to be immersed in the world and enjoy the ride. Another reason I'm excited for the Skeleton Crew series is how the trailer looked. It appears that there is real influence from the aforementioned 80s films with the use of practical effects and puppets. I have a feeling that there will be plenty of CG, or at least characters that are puppets with CG assistance for movement. It's rumored that while Skeleton Crew will certainly utilize the volume for dynamic backgrounds, the show will also feature traditional matte paintings by one of ILM's retired artists and stop motion animation to give it that vintage feel. I've always been fascinated by matte paintings and their integration into film, and Star Wars is a great place to bring back that look, tying it into that same cinematic style as the original trilogy. In the Skeleton Crew trailer, the Goonies-esque pile of bones covered in cobwebs and the dark crystal feel of a few shots brought back that feeling of adventure that the films of my childhood once held. One of my absolute favorite movies from the era of influence is 1985's Explorers, starring River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke, and that's absolutely what this trailer felt like. I was also a very huge fan as a kid of the Ewok Adventure and Battle for Endor, both of which were more of a dark fantasy feel, but a great extension of the Star Wars universe. It's been a long time since I've seen them, and while they may not hold up when it comes to VFX, the essence of adventure sticks in my memory, and I'm hoping this Skeleton Crew has a similar effect. The idea that Star Wars is, in its original iteration, for kids is a debate that's lingered since 1977. George Lucas has spoken on it being a kids' movie, but even more so a movie that's in the spirit of mythology. How are we supposed to live our lives today? But ultimately, yes, Star Wars is for kids and continues to be for kids until they're old and gray. Star Wars in its purest form instills a sense of wonder and possibility in anyone at any age. But for a franchise aimed at children, there are very few stories dedicated to children as the main characters. So I'm excited to have this one on the way. And honestly, I'm just ready for a good show. I'm exhausted by the negativity surrounding so much of the Star Wars extended universe of TV and movies, and I'm really hopeful that the upcoming slate of shows redeems a bit of the world that seems to have gone a little off the rails. At the very least, the trailer for Skeleton Crew brought back some positive expectation for the future of Star Wars, and it seems to have a capable and creative crew of people around it. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who have subscribed, liked, and commented the last few weeks. Even the thumbs downs make me feel like you care. But seriously, thank you so much for following, for liking, for subscribing. I'm very excited to grow this channel how I always intended. Very grateful for you all.